Okay, welcome back. At this point, it is worth pointing out, really, that this isn't the only way of answering this question, or the challenge I left for you with at the end. Now, I've created a list or an array for random cards because that's what I want to return. The whole point of this function is it's going to give me 5 random cards. So we created the for loop within the previous video that we had a look at. Now, I've created a temporary variable, which all it's going to do is use the code that we'd already generated above, where it's going to use, or just slightly modified really, use a random function and the length of the cards array to choose which card it wants. Now that is the code that we've already used in Hangman that chose to find the random word as well. And the next bit is just going to go through a while loop, because I don't know how long it's going to take for it to find a random card. So I'm just basically checking that while temp, whatever they've generated randomly, is actually in the array. Don't need that one anymore. It's going to keep checking it. It's going to keep generating a new card and then check every single time whether or not it's already in the array. If it is, it's going to keep checking. If it isn't, it's going to end the while, add it to the end of the list, and then go back through that for loop. So on the first occasion, it'll find the first card, then the second, then the third, and they end up with an array of length 5. Could put a check in there to make sure it's got 5 at the end of it, but I'm going to run it and see what it does first. Well, when I've turned it into code. I do need to use a variable to store it, because if I just left the function on its own, I've not actually stored it anywhere. I won't actually have those 5 cards that I've spent that function on, or spent that time creating that function for, anywhere that will actually help. Now, I don't think I spelt list like that earlier. Well, I wrote it like that. No, I used lowercase and square brackets, making sure that I'm consistent as I go through. So I've set up the variable for random cards, and then underneath my function, all I'm doing is calling it, oh, it's just gone on to the next page, calling it to make sure that I can store that value. Now, the next challenge is in your data flow diagram, and it's all about display. You're showing the backs of the cards, and then you're going to be flipping over the first card so they can see what it is. Might just display that one to start off with. We'll have a look and see what we can write in the comments for it. There's nothing in the AQA specific documentation that says anything along the lines of showing an image or displaying an image of any kind. Again, this is supposed to be quite generic to go through every language, so there might not be anything. Closest thing we've got so far is read file, and we might want to put it in a function. It's your choice. How would you display those cards? Let's take a look in the next video. Good luck!